Hi everyone, it's Eve Angeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at floor mats. These are going to be the etrailer custom fit floor mats where you have different types of mats for different types of cars. We're going to talk about those different cars, those different types of mats, their different features right here at etrailer.com. Whenever I get a new to me vehicle, the first thing I switch out are the floor mats. And that's because if you get the right floor mats right off the bat, then you're able to protect your vehicle, make it easier to clean, and you're protecting your investment over the long run. Now, when you are picking the right floor mat, there are different things to consider. You first have to consider, does it fit well with the vehicle as well as with your lifestyle? Did you know that material differences can change how easy it is to clean your floor mat as well to install? Well, those are all things we're going to be taking a look at right here. For me, a really good floor mat is one you don't even notice, and that's where the custom fit design comes in handy. Now, with these being custom fit, please make sure you're getting the right floor mat for your vehicle. We have a fit guide here at etrailer.com. You put your year, make, model, and then when you search that, you can then select the floor mats that are a fit for you. Each of the custom fit mats are going to be designed a little differently to match the vehicle they fit in. For passenger vehicles, usually they have a more sunken design, so you are going to have our custom fit mats that will have higher walls to provide more coverage. In the case of this vehicle here, the factory mat didn't even cover where your foot would rest, while the custom fit mat does cover that area plus around and under your pedals. In some cases, you are going to have little lips that will help protect that wall, but also make it easier to get into your vehicle without snagging on any mats, just because of how they sit underneath and into those contours. These mats will also secure into the vehicle in a way that matches that car or that truck. In the case of the driver's side, a lot of them will have an opening. That way you can have the twist lock to secure your mat into place. Some of the mats have little push buttons that push in and snap onto the floor if that floor has that. In other cases, they might not utilize those snaps, and instead the mats will have little nubs that will bite into your upholstery and prevent your mat from shifting around. On trucks though, you're going to have a slightly different design. You're going to have larger and more flat coverage just because that's how cabs are usually designed. You're usually going to have a wider or longer overhang along the side just because these usually sit flat, and a lot of mats designed for trucks will take that into account and then sit over that threshold. Now that is also an issue for a lot of floor mats because if it does sit flat, awesome, full protection there. But if you're not careful with it, you can catch it with your boots getting into the vehicle, and if you do catch it, then the door can catch it too. You create folds, creases, things like that. So my recommendation is if you're worried about it, go ahead and maybe get some double-sided tape or even hook and loop strips. And if you can adhere the bottom lip to your vehicle and to your truck, you'll have a really good experience. And if you ever had to look for floor mats, then material is something you've also had to consider, because there's cloth floor mats, and then the thought process is you always upgrade to rubber floor mats. Well, these mats are made of thermoplastic. They're more of a rubberized thermoplastic though, giving it its malleable material while you still have some structure to it. Creating that structure are a combination of different grooves, struts, as well as lips that all work together to fit around the contours of your car, but also contain the mess and debris that might accumulate on your mat. So when you lift the mat out of your car, you want it to hold that structure so that you can hold all of the puddles and dirt in there, but you also want it malleable where you're able to still lift it and keep everything contained. And it's going to be the same for when you wash it off and put it back into your car. Now, when you do have to wash it off though, having those lips and that structure can make it slightly trickier compared to cloth mats. you do have to be careful about like how you hose things off and make sure you get into all those nooks and crannies. If you're washing your car, just go ahead and wash your mats too. Whatever soapy water you're using on that, you can also use on this. Just make sure to rinse it off, and you can go ahead and let it dry out in the sun. In fact, the sun is going to be very helpful for you with your mats, because when your mats arrive, sometimes because of how they are shipped, you may experience a little bit of folds or just not perfectly fitting against the grooves of your vehicle. Letting the mat dry as well as warm up will help with just smoothing things out and then smoothing up against those contours. And if you find it doesn't fit perfectly the first time, just a couple days in the heat will have a better fit. And when you have to install them, well, you usually have a front passenger and driver side mat as well as a second row mat included with your set. Compared to other brands that usually you have to mix and match and then purchase separately the second row, this one's almost always all included. Now, before you get things set up, remove your old mat, and ideally you're gonna vacuum out and clean the interior. Since this is gonna cover that interior, this will probably be the last time you'll see of that until you have to clean your mat again. Then you just set your mat into place. We're gonna push up against the different contours of the vehicle. Depending on your vehicle's method of mounting, you would either snap it into a place, twist, or push it into place. For driver's side, always make sure it's properly secured before you finish. And if you are able to, just tuck the edges of your mat into the side thresholds. That's awesome. Passenger vehicles, very straightforward. The passenger side, you usually just slip the mat into place and you're done. For the second row, every vehicle is going to be different. Some vehicles have 3 pieces that fit together. Some have 2. The F-150 is a fun example where it fits together similar to a puzzle piece, and you just need to focus on which side fits on top of which. When you have pieces that fit together like that, you do have to be mindful of which way you slide items so you don't catch the lip. But other than that, a very custom fit to match the car or the truck you're driving. Floor mats are very straightforward. You get them to protect the interior of your vehicle, and once you install them, you honestly don't really think about them until you spill something on them and you're really glad you have a floor mat. But with that in mind, when you are looking at floor mats that fit you, we do look at those features that we talked about, like material and how easy are they to install. But for me personally, one of the most important things is price point. These are going to be an economical option where you can get full coverage for your front, driver's and passenger side, as well as your second row, where usually at that price, you can only pick one from other brands. So with that, if you do invest into floor mats and you get to save a little bit on them, you can use that extra money to get some other fun things for your car. Whether it's protecting your cargo area or getting a new hitch to carry around some fun things, well, you can also find those things right here at eTrailer. So hopefully this video helped you out with seeing how the floor mats work, how they fit, and if they're gonna fit you.